Hello and welcome to another Lightroom quick edit. So today I've got a picture of a bird that I've took at a zoo, shot at 300mm, ISO 200, f5.6 and a 1/400th of a second shutter speed. Now, as you can see, it's a bit underexposed, so I'm just gonna fix that real quick by bringing up the exposure slider by 1.5 stops, and it's already fixed. But even then, we still have some distractions with these branches in the frame. Now, my 5-minute quick edits, I really try to edit some pictures that are not my best, but are still worth to get an edit in my 5-minute quick edit, so that's one of them. It's definitely not one of my best, but it definitely has pretty cool water texture, and I really think I can make this picture to a somewhat decent looking photo. So because we have so many branches here, I'm just gonna crop something off here, but I don't want to crop off everything because then we are pretty much just left with the head. And so I think I'm gonna crop it around there and then go to the spot removal tool and get rid of this branch right here. Let's see if it did a good job. That's absolutely terrible. Sometimes you just have to right click, select new source if you work with the spot removal tool, because it might mess up from time to time. So I definitely do like this. This looks pretty natural. So let's see any further adjustments. I think I'm gonna raise the shadows here slightly. Because this is not a landscape, I'm not gonna do my regular workflow of raising the shadows all the way and bringing down the highlights all the way. I'm more kind of doing it more subtle because I want to keep the look very natural. Definitely gonna bring up the whites here. Let's see where they clip. Just up before that. Already looks way better than we started at. Bring down the blacks a bit, maybe a bit of clarity. I definitely do like the look of clarity in the water, but I don't think it needs that much for this frame. Really just a bit. And contrast, I think I'm gonna leave contrast at 0. And to vibrance, I mean, it really maybe use a little bit of plus vibrance just to give it back a little bit of color that we've lost through the raw file itself. And to color temperature, I think color temperature was pretty good. Maybe just make it a tad bit warmer. Yeah, something like this. And I already think we have a pretty cool picture. Let's see with the tonal curve adjustment. Definitely gonna bring up the highlights here. You can see how much dynamic that adds. Now I don't want to do this too much because it kind of distracts too much from the actual bird here. In a landscape I wouldn't mind that much, but for this wildlife picture I'm just gonna do it a little bit more subtle. Then playing around with the other sliders just a little bit and stick with whatever looks best. And then sharpening, I'm definitely gonna add some sharpening here for all of these feathers, and then I'm gonna bring up the masking sliders so we don't have too much of the water selected, really just the feathers. And I do like this. Now noise reduction, really nothing we gotta worry about in this picture. Color noise, might just bring that a little bit towards the right, just in case. And I feel like we already have a pretty cool picture. And I really think we already have a pretty cool picture compared to what we started with. But let me just grab a radial filter here, and because this isn't a landscape or a cityscape or anything like that, I'm not gonna add any dodge and burning, but I am just gonna make this little eye a bit brighter, or at least attempt to do so. Something like this, just so it pops a little bit more. Maybe even add a bit more clarity. Yeah, here's before, here's after. It really just helps to give the eye a bit more of a pop. So as always, let's see where we started at. Here's the raw file, really very dark. And here's what we've made out of it. Now it might be just a tad bit too much exposure, so let me bring that down just by like a 20th of a stop, a 10th of a stop. And I do like this even better. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.